Look, I thought another good day. I thought there was some give and take out there today. It was good to see some of the explosive plays offensively today. That's an area I think we can improve on, so that was good to see. Guys are still out there competing. They're working extremely hard, pushing through the heat. It was hot out there today, but guys pushed through, and I think we're getting a lot accomplished in these first 4 days.
Was it the plan for Michael Thomas to be kind of in and out today?
Yeah.
Was it a vet day for Jimmy Graham?
Yes. Yeah, and look, I'll be honest with you. If there's an injury issue or whatever, I'll let you know if anything's kind of injury related.
Dennis, overall first week, can you sum it up first week here, what you like?
Competitive, you know what I mean? I mean that. You asked me to sum it up. That's what it's been. It's been competitive and hot. Those would be the two things that would come from this. So, but it's been good. Our guys, like I said, they're working hard, and I think we're getting better as a team.
Dennis, I know that you have a couple of practices on tape with Trevor Penning and Cesar Ruiz. Can you make evaluations of what you're seeing yet?
Well, look, I think the positive thing is that they seem to be in relative good shape for coming off of surgery and not really having the whole off season to kind of, especially with a lower body injury, that's kind of hard to do. But I think both those guys are in pretty good shape. I think they're still working back into, football conditioning, but there's a ton of things from a technique, particularly with Trevor. Ton of things from a technique standpoint that he's got to work to improve on. But it's good to have both those guys out there.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my follow-up. Is just from an experience standpoint, obviously, you wanted to see that kind of development. Has he shown, an understanding from?
Well, I would say this. I would say I think he's way further along day one of training camp this year than he was the day he took his last rep last season. So in terms of fundamentals, technique, understanding of what we're doing, I think he's way further along now than where he was at that point. There's still a lot of development to do, but that's what this time of year's all about.
Yeah, how does it open of Isaac Yaden? It seemed like we're going into his 6th year.
Yeah, look, I think he's done a really good job. He came in last year and was really primarily had a special teams role, but I've been impressed with what I've seen out of him defensively, and he kind of fits our prototype. He's got size, he's got length, he's got speed. So those are all things that we look for.
How does an offense open up when you guys are an effective screen team and that stuff's working how you want it to work?
Well, look, at the end of the day, you want to make the defense have to defend 53 and a third, all right? And I think that's what we've kind of made an emphasis on, particularly in this training camp, is being able to get the ball out in space to the playmakers, get the ball on the perimeter, some of those things. And so that, when you have athletic playmakers and you have speed, I think we got more speed on our team right now than maybe what I remember us having in a while. So I think that all poses a threat to the defense.
You can jump by about Hayner so far for practices?
I think he's got some moxie. He's done a good job of, commanding the offense. He's made some really good throws. Seems to be able to see the field pretty well. But I think the most impressive thing to me is just that, it's not too big for him. He's got some moxie about the way he goes about doing his business.
Based on these last few days, is there anything in particular that you're looking for once the full pads come on?
Well, look, you want to see the physicality ramp up. I think that's what we're going to see, and so you look at some of the run game stuff. It's a little bit hard to evaluate at times. We talked about this yesterday. You can understand whether or not guys are in the right fits or not, but does the 3 technique get off the block and actually make the play or not? And so we'll have an opportunity to see that as we get into the pads.
Speaking of the physicality in the run game, had that big stiff arm against Zach Vaughn. Can you speak about that?
Yeah, it was a stiff arm.
Can you speak about the physicality?
Yeah, look, it was. It's good to see. I think on that particular play, Zach was getting off the block of the tight end, and right as he came off, put the stiff arm out there. That's part of what happens in our league, and so that was good.
I know it's only been a handful of plays, but have you seen Kendre Miller catch the ball kind of the way you guys projected he would coming out of the draft?
Yeah, I think he's done some nice things, not only catching the ball, but I think his route detail, I think, has been better than what maybe I would have anticipated. So I think he's got a skill set to be a well-rounded back, you know, and I think that fits what we're looking for.
What have you noticed about Nick Anderson?
Yeah, look, Nick's a smart, tough, instinctive football player. You know, he's not the prototype size that we're looking for, the prototype length that we're looking for. But yet there's been guys like that have played in this league. And so, you know, one of the most important characteristics of a linebacker is, you know, being an instinctive player. And I think he's got some of those things.
Dennis probably unfairly don't talk about long snapper unless it's a problem or something, but does Zach Wood getting a contract extension done? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, they're hard to find, you know, and I think particularly as you start looking at the way the college game has moved in terms of the punt protection, they're asking them to do a lot of different stuff. They don't really have to do as much in terms of protection at the collegiate level. So, look, when you have a good one, you know, it's nice to have them locked up because you know, it's a problem when you don't have one. And look, at the end of the day, really, for the deep snapper, you know, if nobody's talking about him, that means he's probably doing a pretty good job.
I'm just picking up two plays with Yaden, but and I don't know how well you saw him, but there was a deep ball down the left sideline that should leave, and then there's one of the left flats. So I'm just curious, just from your vantage point, is there anything that stood out on the way he handled those plays that's worth noting?
Well, particularly the ball to Shaheed down the left sideline, I thought, you know, there was no panic in his play. I thought he did a nice job of working to get back in phase with the receiver, saw the hands go up, played the hands. So from a technique standpoint, particularly that play, and that's one of the things, like, you know, down the field when you're playing corner is just that ability to have confidence in yourself to be able to make the play and not panic in those situations. I thought he did a nice job there. All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks,